One of my biggest pillars is self-expression, and what I believe self-expression to be is truly tapping into all the aspects of who you are. So, not your thoughts, not your emotions. Those are fleeting aspects of yourself. But really, what you're feeling is true to you and meaningful to you in the moment, and expressing that. And we all do this in a different way. For me, I think some of my best ideas come from speaking and talking out through conversation. Sometimes this can happen through journaling, but I find that I'm not really consistent with journaling, and I find that sometimes journaling does activate my analytical brain rather than my heart space, like truly how I feel in speaking from the heart. Because what happens is I just start thinking, am I spelling that word right? Is it I before E except after C? Is there an E after that G? And then I can really not be pulling out of the present moment, but really pulled into my brain, into my mind, into the things that I am not really expressing because I'm just analyzing myself at that point. So that being said, is analyzing self-expression, not when you're over analyzing. And I think that's where we can lose touch with our creativity, our inherent creativity. And I find where I've struggled, and I'm getting better at this, but where I've struggled to tap into my creativity is letting go of the inner critic, of the, oh, who cares? Nobody's going to want to hear that post anyways, or you have nothing of value. And these are all things I've overcome, like unworthiness complex, like self-esteem issues, where I wouldn't even get on camera, even though it's been the number one source of advancement in my business is when I get on camera and when I tell people what I'm doing. I still do feel that resistance of being vulnerable and really proving the naysayers in my mind, oh, this doesn't matter. You're wasting your time. And to really give myself a container where I'm just going to be creative anyways for the sake of it, like musicians do. They go into the studio and they fuck around a little bit. Maybe they have a plan, they have some lyrics, they have a riff or like a melody or like a little bit of inspiration from whatever muse, and they just go at it. And for a long time I thought, oh, they know what they're doing. They like understand in their mind this process. And maybe some do, but what I've come to realize was that they just fuck around and find out. And when you're not over analyzing something and criticizing yourself in that moment, you're just letting it flow. And I guess this is why everyone's obsessed with this flow state. It's this unfiltered sense of creativity because you're just allowing yourself to express what I'm doing right now. Like, I didn't really have a plan. I was dicking around on my computer and I was like, oh, I should talk about self-expression and what it really means to me and how I find it so valuable and why I find it valuable. I think self-expression is the most valuable pillar of one's personality, because if you can express yourself, your what you find true in the moment, which can change, which is so beautiful, but in that moment, if you can express that, even though you're feeling fear. I used to think you have, like, truth didn't come with fear. I thought that you would be fearless with your truth. And I've come to learn that throughout the past years, that's not true. Sometimes speaking your truth is through fear, and being aware of that fear and speaking about it is so powerful. And that's where courage is, the lion within.